Good morning. It's time for energizing yoga. I'm just going to check the volume. Okay, so here we are. We are going to be practicing some nice, just simple, easy movements this morning. I don't think you're going to need any blocks or props, but if you have some handy, maybe just grab them in case you do need them to support yourself. I just want to let you know that we're looking at moving some of our classes to Zoom. And so we'll be giving you lots of notice around that. And this is one of them that may be moving to a Zoom platform. So we're just kind of trying it on to see if it's going to be something that's going to support us and most importantly, support you. So get whatever you need, blankets, blocks, cushions, your mat, make sure you're all set up. And I'm going to go sit on my mat and Jai Bhagwan. Welcome to yoga. So as you find yourself coming to a comfortable seated position, just go ahead and allow the eyelids to drop over the eyes. Just adjusting your seat into a steady, comfortable position, eyes closed. And as you find yourself settling in, begin to draw your attention towards the ebb and the flow of your breath. Noticing the inhalation and noticing the exhalation. Nothing to do, simply watching. In this morning's sadhana, we're simply going to bring attention to trust and faith. Just that. Trusting everything brought us to this moment right here. And having faith that everything we need to know about the next moment will be revealed to us. So this morning I invite you to join together in the sound of Om, joining our energetic presence together in this energetic sangha wherever you are in the waking state. And even though we can't see each other, just feeling that connectivity through the center of the chest, at the altar of the heart, and through the sound vibration of the sound of Om. So as you're ready, draw the hands towards the chest, resting them At the center of the chest, the heart in prayer position. Again, feel that connectivity to the ebb and the flow of your breath. And then as you're ready to begin, take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace. And so allow the hands to begin to find their way back towards the thighs or knees. And you can keep your eyes closed. We're simply going to bring the chin towards the chest, as if you're bowing your head. And then on your next inhalation, you're going to lift the chin up. Going slowly. And then as you're ready to exhale again, exhaling, bringing the chin back towards the chest. Inhaling, lifting up. And exhaling. Chin to chest. One more time. And then eventually allow the head to find its way chin to chest again. And this time we're going to just roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Go slow. You might notice some tension or holding on the left side of the neck. And then bringing the chin back down towards the chest. Rolling now the left ear to the left shoulder. And just moving back and forth from the left shoulder to the right shoulder. Your head is like a pendulum swinging from side to side, but slowly. Breathing. Relaxing. And eventually bringing the chin back towards the chest. And just rolling the head back to that neutral position. And then we're just going to turn the head, kind of turning the head to the right, almost like you're looking over your right shoulder. And then on your next inhalation, sweeping through center. And then looking over your left shoulder. Moving back and forth slowly with attention. And then back into center. We're going to breathe the arms up, stretching all the way up towards the ceiling. Nice good morning stretch. You can interlace the fingers if you want to, or just press the palms towards the ceiling. Your body knows exactly what to do here. Just follow its natural prompting. Maybe rocking side to side. Maybe you find yourself into a slight rotation or twist. You might even allow one hand to come to the floor and move into a side. Lifting all the way up, switching to the other side if you're doing the side twist or the side lunge, side bend, sorry. Just pressing to that opposite sits bone. You feel the body opening on that whole extended side. And kind of playing with any areas of tenderness or holding. Until you eventually find your way back out again, arms overhead. Again, either interlace the fingers, press the palms up, or just simply move the hands into temple position. And then slowly allow the arms to come back along to the shoulders, and we're going to cross them in front, moving into eagle arms. So one arm on top of the other, wind the hands together, folding at the forearms, and just lift the fingertips up. Notice if there's any tension in between the shoulder blades, and just gently begin to circle at the elbows. Maybe even bring the hands down to the shoulders and let the elbows drop towards the navel. You might even find yourself drawn into a slight rounded back. Inhale, opening those arms again. Remember which one was on top. And then we're going to cross the arms again. This time the other arm goes on top. Fold at the elbows, wind the forearms, lift the fingertips up. Again, notice if you extend through the elbows, if there's any tension in between the shoulder blades, and just circling the elbows slightly. Allowing yourself to lovingly explore that area of tenderness or holding between the shoulder blades. Allowing the hands to cross again, bringing the hands to shoulders, chin to chest, maybe rounding the back. And finding your way back into that neutral place, let the hands stretch out to the side. Back behind you, lift and extend through the sternum. Go ahead and open the mouth and stick out the tongue. Good. And then we're going to bring the hands back down to the floor. Hands behind you this time. Palms on the mat, fingers pointing in. We're going to bring the feet so that they are hip width apart. You're going to press down through the feet and extend out through the torso, coming into a bench position. You can take your gaze to the ceiling. Continue to press into the feet and the hands. And just notice that steadiness in this reverse table or bench position. Slowly bringing yourself down. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, bound ankle. Nice complementary movement. Folding forward. Holding at the ankles. Allowing your head to let go. And just bringing the right hand into the center, resting them on the feet. You can bring the left hand back, moving into a gentle twist. Keeping your attention on any tenderness or holding, and you can again just move a little bit to the right and left of that tender spot. Slowly begin to transition, bringing the left hand into the center. Right hand behind you, again, a little bit of a twist. Allowing that rotation to go all the way through the neck. And coming back through center. Positioning the legs out to the side. Just begin to circle the torso a little bit here. Awakening up the pelvis and the spine. And you can even take hands in front of you and create a little bit of a stirring action to open up through the shoulders. Maybe changing directions. And then coming back into neutral, we're just simply going to breathe the right arm up and move into a side bend. I'm going to press through that right sits bones again so you can feel the length on the whole right side of the body. Take the gaze towards the hand, opening through the neck. And then sweeping the arm up, we're going to switch to the other side. Right hand comes towards the right leg, left arm extends up. Moving into that side bend, anchoring through the left sits bones. Take the gaze towards the fingers. Inhale, extend up. We're going to switch again to the other side. Taking the gaze to the fingers. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to the right. You might even notice, I know I notice, I have a little restriction on my left side, so I don't feel like I can open quite as much through the neck there. Inhaling up. This time we're just going to exhale and then inhale. Just a couple times here. Just moving back and forth. And all the way back into center. Close the eyes and just simply be still. Notice the vibratory impact of movement, the intelligence of prana. Balance and harmonizing. As you just rest here in the second half of the pose, bringing your attention now to the spot between the eyebrows. 2 to 3 inches into the center of the skull. Now gradually begin to transition yourself towards a table position. Bringing the knees in, maybe crossing the legs, rocking into a table position. And once you find your way there, trust again that your body knows exactly what to do, maybe balancing with some cat and upward cat. If you need support under your knees, make sure you've got a blanket handy. And your hands are going to be directly below shoulders, knees directly below hips, toes tucked under, and just rounding the back and forth. Standing up through tailbone and sternum. Just simply awakening. Breathing in joy. Breathing out love. Breathing in trust. And breathing out faith. Tucking the toes under, finding your way to downward facing dog. Now, once you're in downward dog, and I assume for most of us, it's our very first one of the day, just give yourself a little playtime. Crossing through opposite heels. Maybe circling one arm and seeing if the shoulder opens, place it a little further on the mat. Bend the knees, press the hips back towards the back of the mat. Maybe shifting the hips a little side to side. Give your head a little shake. You may even want to open your feet a little bit, parting them, a little bit wider stance. Notice what that feels like. And then coming back into neutral, we're going to lift the right leg towards the ceiling, starting with hips level. And then go ahead and turn the toes towards the right edge of the mat, keeping the body steady. And then bring that right heel back towards the left buttock. And then if you have that range of motion, you can travel that right foot all the way back, stretch the left arm and extend the right arm up, okay? If not, just bring yourself into a steady position, whether you're holding in Wild Thing, or whether you find your way back into Downward Dog. Moving to the other side, lift the left leg up. Again, level, steady position. And then turning the toes, rotating that left leg towards the left edge of the mat. Bring the left heel back to the right buttock. Some of you may want to just circle the knee here towards the ceiling. Opening right through the hip. Or maybe that left leg wants to travel all the way behind the right and come into wild thing. Extend the right leg, extend the left arm, either to the ceiling or overhead. And then as you're ready, finding your way back out, go slow, no fast, jerky movements. And then walking your feet towards the top of your mat, however you want to get there. Coming to a hanging forward bend. Again, just bringing the hands onto the back of the, kind of like the back of the skull. A little dime-like pressure as the head continues to hang. I just have to make a slight adjustment on my screen. I haven't quite got the hang of it. And then releasing the hands, roll up the spine, go slow. Breathing all along the way. Noticing any areas of tenderness you're holding. Just gonna stay attuned and attentive, connected. When you find yourself fully upright, just noticing what's happening in the internal realms of your existence. Tingling, vibration, heat. And slow, steady stream of breath. And then gradually go ahead and find your way towards the top of the mat. We're going to move through just a few sun salutations. It's a gorgeous day here on the West Coast. So I thought we would do a few sun salutations. Again, I'm just going to make the adjustments on my mat. They've changed some of the publishing tools for Facebook. So I'm learning again, making the subtle adjustments. So as you find your way to the top of the mat, bring the hands into prayer position. You're going to press down through the feet. Inhale, lift the hands up. Pressing through the feet, extending through the crown of the head. And then exhale, you're going to fold all the way down to the floor, finding your way into a hanging forward bend. From this hanging forward bend, you can extend the spine, take the gaze slightly forward, belly resting on the thighs. And then exhaling back down again. Inhale, step the right foot back into a runner's lunge. We're going to sink the hips and extend forward through the crown, through the sternum. Placing both hands on the floor, step the right foot back into plank position. Bring the knees to the floor, folding back into child's pose. And then on your next inhalation, scooping into upward facing dog. Here the toes can be resting on the floor. You can also have the toes tucked under. Just make sure you're not sinking into the low back. You want to be lifting up and out. Micro bend in the elbow. And then folding at the hip crease. Into downward facing dog. We'll lift the right leg to the ceiling. Step it to the top of the mat. Into that runner's lunge position. And then stepping both feet to the top of the mat, left to meet the right, forehead towards the shins. Palms together, inhale, rise up. And exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, divers pose. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step that right foot back into the runner's lunge. And exhale, step the right foot back into plank position. Knees to the floor, fold back to child's pose. Inhale, sliding forward, upward facing dog. You can also lift the legs right off the floor. Folding back into downward facing dog. Lift the left leg to the ceiling. Step it to the top of the mat. If it doesn't quite make it, help it along. You can always bring that right knee down. And then sink the hips, extend through sternum and crown. Step the right foot to meet the left. Forward fold. Palms together, inhale, rise up. Pressing through feet, extending through sternum, out through fingertips. Exhale, this time sweeping the hands out to the side. You begin to bring some attention into the shoulders, forehead to the shin. Inhale, diver's pose. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right foot back. Into the lunge. I'm going to have you lift yourself up into warrior position. Breathe the arms out to the side, turn the palms. And then alongside the ears. Pressing back to that right heel for warrior's lunge. Press down to the left foot. Beautiful. We'll bring the hands into the center of the chest. We're going to rotate into a revolved lunge. And lift the right shin towards the ceiling. That's it. Beautiful. We'll bring the hands to the floor. We'll step back into plank position. You can bring the knees to the floor. You're free to fold back into child's pose, or you can move into Ashtanga Namaskar, lowering the sternum towards the thumb, sliding forward and up into upward facing dog. Folding back and downward facing dog. We'll lift the left leg, and I'm going to add another piece to this. I'm going to have you step the left foot halfway up the mat, toes along the left edge. Come to the side of the right foot, moving into Vasisthana, or a variation thereof, modified position. And you can either stack the feet or have the left foot in front. Opening up through the entire upper torso. Good. And then bringing that left hand back. Finding your way again into downward dog. Lift the left leg and step it all the way to the top of the mat. Right foot to meet the left. Forward fold. Inhale, arms sweep out to the side. Bringing the palms together. Pressing through the hips, extending through sternum. Exhale, we're going to fold again. Arms sweeping out to the side. The swan dive. Forehead to the shin. Inhale, extending to the crown. Exhale. Big step back with the left foot. And we're going to lift ourselves right up into warrior position. The arms are going to come out to the side, turn the palms, and you're pressing back with that left heel. It's off the floor, and then bringing the arms alongside the ears. Beautiful. Okay. We'll bring the hands back down through the center. Remember, we're moving to a revolved position, so I'm just going to rotate. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee, pressing through the right heel, pressing through the left heel, lifting the left shin. Beautiful. And then hands back to the floor. Okay, stepping that right foot back into plank. Pressing through heels, extending through crown. Bring the knees to the floor. You have an option for child's pose here or Ashtanga Namaskar. If you're going to Ashtanga Namaskar, it's lowering the sternum, the bottom remains high, and you scoop up like an airplane taking off. The toes can be tucked under, sternum extended. You can also have the toes flat, pressing into the mat. You can also lift the legs. And just take care of your lumbar spine. And then again, folding into downward facing dog. Give your head a little shake. And we're going to lift the right leg. And we're going to step it halfway up the mat like we did on the other side. So the right toes are lined up on the right edge of the mat. Coming onto the side of the left foot. Extending the right arm up. You can also have it alongside the ear. You can also stack your feet, okay? Beautiful. We're going to bring ourselves down, back into downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg again, step it to the top of the mat. Sinking the hips, extending forward, sternum and crown. And then feet together, forehead to the shin. Let's just hold on to the elbows here. Shifting the weight slightly forward on the balls of the feet, give the head a little shake. And then releasing the arms, pressing to the feet, swan diving up. Palms coming together, kind of like we're coming out of the ocean. Pressing to the feet, extend through the crown. Beautiful. And then bring the hands back down through heart center. Eyes closed. The hands falling gently to the side. Noticing for yourself what's happening with your breath. Noticing any sensations in the body. Any tingling. Any heat. Second half of the pose here. You're simply watching, bearing witness. Trust and faith. The whole universe has conspired to bring us to this point right here. And have faith that it'll reveal to you exactly the next step. Allow the attention now to move upwards to the spot between the eyebrows and 2 to 3 inches into the center of the skull. Merging here into oneness. Now gradually opening the gaze. We're going to remain standing. We're going to move through some balancing poses. Again, I'm just going to back up, hopefully, to the back of the mat. Maybe, again, I'm going to adjust this camera. And so pressing into the feet, extending through the crown of the head. I'm going to start with just a simple drawing of the right knee up. So we press into the left foot. We're going to lift the right leg up, just about to hip level if that's available for you. I'm going to lead you through stages, so maybe flexing the ankle of the right foot. If it's available for you, you can interlace the fingers and draw the hands around the shin and lift the knee in towards the chest. Now, the next stage would be, see if the hands will go underneath the foot without any struggle or strain to get there. And then see if you can extend again. Beautiful. Focusing your gaze on one point, begin to bring that right foot back. Just feel the release in the right side. Pressing down through the right foot. Now we're going to lift the left. Again, just starting with that right angle. Dorsal flexion in the left foot. If it's within your range of motion, interlace the fingers and holding on to the left shin. It's kind of interesting watching yourself in a video that's doing the opposite. I have to make sure not to look at my reflection because it's backwards. And then if it's available, you can walk the hands underneath the toe line and draw the knee in towards the chest. See if you can stand up a little bit more. Steady with your breath. And then as you're ready, just releasing. Eyes closed. Again, notice the release of sensation through the pelvis as the breath opens into the chest, down the arms, the palms, maybe through the throat. And now pressing into the left foot, we're going to extend the left arm. I'm just going to turn again. As you press into the left foot, you're going to step the right foot back and then open the right hand. So it's like I'm hitchhiking. I'm going to bring my right foot into my right hand. Now, if you can't do that, maybe you don't have the range of motion, just keep that right foot on the floor. Okay, just do that. It's perfect. You don't want to struggle. Struggling is not yoga. Struggling is an ego pose. Okay? Self-conscious as opposed to super-conscious. So being where you are, either here with your hand back, right toe on the floor, or bringing the right foot into the right hand. Okay? You can line your knees up here. And then the third stage would be pressing that right foot back, allowing that right shoulder to kind of receive that lifting of the right leg. And the fourth stage would be just tipping at the hip crease. The left fingers and the right foot in a beautiful extension. You can turn the palm if you want to into mudra or palm down. As you're ready to release, slowly, always slowly coming out, just as attentively as you went in. Pressing down to the right foot, notice the openness and the release on the right side. Resting there. Until you feel a little bit of a wave kind of subside, and then we'll switch to the other side. Pressing down to the right foot, extending to the right arm. Step the left foot back and open up the left arm. Thumb turned out. If it's available, bring the left foot into the left hand. Don't struggle or strain to get there. And then just line the knees up. On the next movement, maybe pressing the left foot into the left hand. Feel that extension to the left shoulder. Slowly, if it's available, the fourth stage would be folding at that right hip as that left leg begins to extend back a little bit more, the right hand extending forward. Your palm can be down, palm up in mudra. But really, you want to feel that extension from the left foot to the right fingertips. And then slowly, again, bringing yourself back, left leg comes to the floor. And I just want you to attend to where there's openness, where you feel spaciousness. And just simply breathe into that. Now gradually allow your attention to move upwards and feel that natural uptrendedness of the energy body as you begin to bring attention right to the spot between the eyebrows. Merging here into oneness at the third eye center. Resting back in trust and faith. Now gradually opening the gaze again, two more balancing postures actually. The next one is Vrikshasana tree. So you're pressing down through the left foot. We're going to turn the right foot to the side. It's perpendicular. Firming through this entire left side. Okay, you press through the foot and extend through the crown of the head. Now we're going to lift the right leg up, and you can either place it on the right calf, or if you have the range of motion, onto the left inner thigh, but not on the knee. Okay? And some of you even can open the right hip, holding on to the right foot. This is where I can't look at myself. Crossing that foot over. Allow the right knee to drop away. And then you can bring the hands into the center of the chest. Wherever your leg is positioned, we'll all bring our hands to the center of the chest. And then as you maintain that steady position, you can slowly allow the hands to extend upwards. Notice the subtle shift as the arms move overhead, the subtle opening through the upper centers. Either palms pressed together or interlace the fingers into temple, draw the arms close towards the ears. Steady presence. Slowly bringing the hands back down through center. Every movement, moment by moment, a prayer in action. When you release the right leg, you might notice a natural complementary movement that's arising. Follow that innate wisdom of the life force. It brings balance and harmony to what you just experienced. When you feel that wave subside, we'll move to the other side, pressing down through the right foot, firming through the buttock and the inner thigh. Okay? Opening the left, perpendicular to the right. Again, the sides may be a little different, so as you're pressing down through the right foot, you're extending through the crown. And then bringing the left foot either onto the calf or the inner thigh, not on the knee, above or below, or even crossing into the crux of the right hip. Palms are going to find their way together, if that's available to you. If you do lift your knee over your hip and you have that range of motion in the hip to hold on to your right, hold on to your left foot with your right hand and let the left leg drop open. Then you may only have one hand at the center of the chest. Slowly bringing the arms overhead, either in prayer position, palms touching, or interlace into temple, still firming through the buttocks and inner thigh of the right leg, and extending through the crown of the head and the fingers. A beautiful, steady presence. Full, complete breath. Feeling yourself anchored and expansive at the same time. Again, begin to find your way coming out of the tree position. Slowly adjusting your body back into a Tadasana. You may be drawn into stillness, or you may feel a wave of complementary movement arising. So follow whatever is that natural prompting for you. Keep your attention on energy. Now gradually, again, opening the gaze. We're going to move into Garudasana, the eagle. Okay. So the feet are going to come right together now, side by side, large toes touching. We're going to bend both knees, and this is an important piece. You want both legs bent, okay? Because they're going to be working together as a unit. And then with a steady gaze on one point, you're going to cross the right leg over the left, kind of like you're sitting in a chair. And I'm going to encourage you just to put your large toe on the floor. Some of you do have that range of motion where you can bring the right foot right behind the calf. So if that's natural and useful, feel free. But if it's a little bit of a struggle and you end up twerking, just large toe on the floor, okay? Nothing to prove here. Nothing to make happen. Just simply allowing it. That's trust and faith. Trust is trusting we're exactly where we need to be. Faith is knowing that we're going to be shown the next step. Breathe the arms out to the side like wings, and then we'll bring the left arm first, the right arm on top, cross at the elbows, wind the forearms, lift the fingers up, and the elbows are going to move away. Okay. I'm just going to turn to the side a little bit. Okay. So you can see my arms are not here, they're actually a little higher, shoulder level, and I'm extending them. And I'm sitting down. Drop the tailbone and extend through the crown of the head. Good. Steady position. Now, there is another option. You can kind of bring the elbows and the knees together. It's called the thinker. And as you're ready to release the legs. Allow the arms to unwind, spreading the wings. All of your attention on the movement of arms as they release. Notice how far they want to go. One might feel light, one might feel heavy. And then allow them to find their way again back down to the sides. Just noticing, watching. Be still and know. Bending at both knees now. We're going to lift the left leg up this time. Cross it over the right. Remember, the legs are working together as a unit, so it's like you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. The large toe of the large toe of the left foot is resting on the ground, or it's wrapped behind the calf. Okay? Don't struggle. There's nothing to prove. Okay, so it's just going to be natural and easeful. And I invite you to look at life that way. If you feel like you're pushing, then life isn't easeful. So what can you do? Back up a little bit. Find the place where you can be steady and ease. Breathe the arms up. And this time the right arm is coming in front, left arm is on top. We're going to bend at the elbows, wind them together, lift up through the fingertips. And I'll just change so you can see from the side view. I think there's something about, you can sit down a little bit more, elbows to knees. Tailbone drops, crown extends. And then we'll release. Feet come next to each other again. Just notice how the arms naturally complementary move. And I tend to find my hands kind of interlacing behind the back, the shoulder blades being drawn together into Yoga Mudra. I find my natural way of complementary movement is forward fold here. The arms may be coming off the back towards the ceiling. You might have a little shake. Steady my breath. And then I might even let my hands come onto my back body. The arms dropping towards the floor. Finding my way into maybe a wider leg stretch. Bringing the palm into the center, maybe adding a little rotation. Moving to the other side if that feels natural. You can look towards the hand. Until eventually you find your way towards a squatting position. Elbows resting on the inside of the legs, palms together. Goddess position, or maybe you want to bring the feet a little more parallel to one another, the elbows or the knees right on top, and drop the tailbone. You can. So it's less of a hip opener and more of a stretch for the back. Let the head hang. And then eventually, we're just going to find our way into a comfortable seated position, eyes closed. Let's take a moment to be still, to breathe. Feel that connectivity to the energy body. Suspending the dialogue of the mind. Just resting back and observing those thoughts, images, passing like clouds in the sky. Bring the attention upwards to the third eye center if it's not already there. Softening through the throat. And feel that expansiveness that spreads across the forehead. Gradually begin to find your way onto your back in preparation for Setu Bandhasana bridge pose. Again, I'm just going to make an adjustment on our camera. So as you're finding your way to the back, to your back, finding your way so that you can comfortably have the knees and hip width apart. Feet flat on the floor. You're resting your head on the mat, arms to the side. You can walk the feet in a little bit. Maybe even bring the knees to the chest. And then the arms alongside the body. We're going to press into the feet and we're going to lift the hips halfway up. Okay. Your gaze is directly towards the ceiling. If you need to look, just bring your body down first before you turn your head. You're going to interlace the fingers underneath the back. Press to the right foot and draw that right shoulder underneath. Press to the left foot and draw the left shoulder underneath. Now the arms are extended towards the feet. You're resting on the shoulders. You're pressing into the feet, the shoulders, the triceps, and the base of the skull. And you're extending out through the hip bones, through the sternum and the crown. Remaining here, some of you are very steady. You can lift your right leg up. Or your left leg up. And then when you feel ready, you can release the hands and lower the back towards the floor. Maybe you're drawn to a slight twist. Maybe taking the gaze over to the other side. When you feel ready to switch, allowing the knees to move over to the opposite side. Turning the head to the other arm. Again, feeling that opening through the neck and the throat, the shoulders, right from the center of the chest, that release of sensation. Coming back into neutral again. Now, you have an option here. Some of you are comfortable moving into shoulder stand, so this would be the opportunity for you to do that. If you have a headstand in your practice at home, feel free to find your way there. And what I'm going to guide you into is fish. So I'm going to put my hands underneath my back, palms down. I'm going to walk the hands in close to each other. Okay? I'm going to stretch out my legs. Okay? I'm going to press out through the feet, and then I'm going to lift myself up onto my forearms. Okay? Kind of like I'm in a resting position almost. I can see my toes. My toes are kind of lit up. I'm drawing the shoulder blades together. Now I'm going to press with the forearms and the hands. I'm going to begin to slide myself over my hands and let my head come back towards the floor. Okay? I continue to press with the forearms and extend out through the legs to help extend the sternum and rest on the crown. If this is hard for your neck at all, you can come out. You can also just rest on your bolster or blanket lengthways, so there's no pressure on your head or your neck. You really want to take care of this area. And when we have neck injuries, we can have a lot of fear, and there's a contraction. So bring your attention instead to the center of the chest and allow your heart to open, the center of the chest to open. So if you had a blanket, I would just, you could roll it widthways and then just rest over it like this with your arms out to the side. It's the same expression, just not as much opening for the neck, okay? And what I like about this, it gets right into the space between the shoulder blades and gives me a very subtle massage, like a press point. So when you feel complete, you could find your way coming out, lifting, pressing into the forearms, lifting the head, and then releasing the arms and roll onto your back. As you find your way onto your back, again, you might notice the body's natural desire to digest some of the movements that you just did. And so following those inner promptings, whatever they look like, it brings balance and harmony to what you just experienced. Feeling the ebb and the flow of the life force guiding you with its innate intelligence. You'll find that at some point there's a sense of this wave of movement subsiding. And that's when you know it's time to just find a place where you can rest deeply. It's so wonderful to be here with you in these moments. Facebook Live is interesting because we can't actually see who's here, so we know we're here, and that's the beautiful gift. And I know that this is supporting you in your home practice, and what a beautiful gift to be developing a home practice. So that's a blessing in itself. And as I mentioned, we may be moving to a Zoom platform, and we'll let you know about that. So we can be a little bit more interactive. Not all the classes, but some of them. So now just let that go and just feel yourself dropping, dropping, dropping. Sinking into the earth. Feel yourself melting. All your troubles, your concerns melting away. falling away from the skin boundary. Your whole body being breathed. Drop into the deepest stillness of the third eye. Slowly allow yourself to begin to rise to the surface of awareness. Your fingers and toes, arms and legs. Stretching and moving in any way that feels perfect. Gradually rolling over onto your right side, resting here in the womb of existence. Finding your way to a seated position, eyes closed. Simply allow yourself to remain anchored in this deep inner experience. As you begin to bring a portion of yourself back into the room, all of the universe has conspired to bring you to this moment right here. Have trust. Have trust in that. Have faith that it will be revealed the next step. You're exactly where you need to be right now. Let's bring the hands towards the center of the chest, slowly moving them through space as they find their way together. And with deep gratitude, deep reverence, simply for the opportunity to be here together today. Let's seal this time with the sound of Om and take a deep breath in. Om Shanti. May all beings know peace. Jai Bhagwan, have a beautiful sunny day wherever you are in the waking state. The sun is shining from you, so let it illuminate your path, everyone around you, everywhere you go. Jai Bhagwan, thanks for being here today.